right. I guess we back live, baby. I want to welcome back everyone back to the First Inning Radio Show. We live. We got a few topics to talk about. And yeah, if you are seeing this video and if you have pressed play, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. The title that you're reading is true. A man was shot in Yankee Stadium during the playoff game of the New York Soccer Club playoff game. It's a fact. But they're keeping it under the hush-hush. And let me tell you my story before we get into news about Tyler Wade, A-Rod, Aaron Boone, you know, that type of stuff. And but Sunday I was home, and you know, I can see the stadium there. I'm across the street, and I was like, all right, let me get on my way out of here. And I was going to the store to make some rounds, you know how it is. And I see ambulances and all kind of stuff. I guess the soccer game was ending or so, because people were leaving the game, but there was no panic. It was like a regular Yankee game, like if people were leaving the game. That's how it was. Like nobody knew nothing. But I saw ambulances, and they were rushing away. So I didn't think nothing of it, but they rushed away from Yankee Stadium, and I got my thing here because it's cold. And then I got my stuff. Then the next morning, I'm watching Channel 7 News, right? Channel 7 News, New York City. And Ken Rosado, Channel 7 News, reports that a man was shot at Yankee Stadium, inside Yankee Stadium. And this is the story. But here's the problem. You can't find the story anywhere. I don't know if you can now as of the recording of this video, but as of now to this recording of this video, and let's say that is how many hours? 48 hours since that happened, and I can't find anything that happened on it. But it's a fact that everybody was telling me. I was getting tweets saying, yo, Obama, somebody got shot at Yankee Stadium, man. Joint is crazy. So the story goes, and it was on Channel 7 News. They showed it, and they showed the stadium and everything. Now, this is what happened. I guess, but it's unclear what happened. So I guess towards the ending of the game, on the closeout of the game, somewhere on the ending of the game, around the ending of the game somewhere, a man was shot in the hand with a bullet. He got hit with a bullet in his hand. Okay? He got hit in the hand with a bullet. The thing is, they don't know if the gun went off that he got shot by the bullet was inside of Yankee Stadium, or did this bullet come from outside of Yankee Stadium. Did I say inside the first time? Inside. And then the next one, did this bullet come from outside of Yankee Stadium? Meaning, like, did somebody just shoot in the air, bang, and he was just standing in the crowd and the George just hit him in the hand? That's allegedly what happened. It's crazy. I hope y'all give me a likes, share this video. But I'm telling you right now, they are keeping this video under the wraps. Not this video, but they keeping that article under the wraps, or the Yankees are. Nobody wants to know about what's going on here. But a man was shot inside Yankee Stadium. The question is, did the gun go off inside or outside of Yankee Stadium? Now, you're saying, oh man, how could a gun get inside Yankee Stadium? With the security that they have pretty good security there. Pretty good. Pretty good. And there's no way a normal person is going to bring a gun inside of Yankee Stadium. It's pretty much impossible. Yankee Stadium security is very good. You have to walk through a metal detector. They have magnetic wands. They check inside your book bag and everything. They check all the pockets and all that. So there's no way you're gonna get by on passing through a gun in a book bag or something. And plus, remember, guns are very heavy, so you're gonna notice the weight really quick. So yeah, that's the scary part is though. Let me get into some news here. But the scary part is that I believe the guy was just standing in the stands waiting to leave, watching the final moments of the soccer game, and a bullet hit him in the hand. That's what happened. And that bullet was probably shot from a gun blocks away that probably lollipopped. It probably went in the air 10,000 feet and came back down and landed and hit him in the hand. Holy cow. So you're really not safe anywhere, especially in the Bronx. Right now in the Bronx, it's crazy, man. They got it's like the Wild Wild West in the Bronx right now. So, they're gonna have to the police are gonna have to handle that, in the way they can. But yeah, I don't know how I believe that's how it happened. I believe somebody shot a gun from outside the stadium and it lollipopped and hit him in the hand, which is very frightening. Because imagine if because the right now Yankee Stadium is like the Wild Wild West, and imagine people shooting guns and somewhere down the block, and you at a Yankee game, July, August, whatever, and you get shot right in the chest. Could you imagine? That's crazy, man. So we don't want that to happen to anybody. So they're gonna have to do some controlling on gun violence, at a thing, man. Look at all the food. Well, let's get out of the Bronx and talk about the Yankee Stadium. Aaron Boone was helping out the staff that was Bank of America employees, giving out turkeys and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. And that was in partnership with the Food Bank of New York City, assisting. They gave away 500. I don't know. I don't know how much they gave away, but wait till the video ends here. But they feed about 500 families a month, so that's pretty great. But yeah, what's up, Bryson? Bryson's on the check-in. Yeah, by myself today, but I got a great story, man. A guy was shot inside of Yankee Stadium, man. If you didn't know, I saw it on Channel 7 News. So it is real, but the thing is, I can't find an article to show it, so that sucks. But allegedly, I think what happened was a guy was shot in the hand, but it sounded like a gun was fired blocks away, and I guess it went 10,000 feet in the air and then lollipopped down and hit him in the hand. Because the guy was bleeding in the hand and everything. I was actually, at the time, I think they were rushing him to the hospital. I was going to the store and buying ice cream. And I was like, yo, something crazy happened here. And then the next morning, I saw on the news that a guy was shot in the hand. So I don't believe a gun was shot inside of Yankee Stadium. It had to be outside of it, because there's really no way you're going to get a gun inside of Yankee Stadium, because I mean, they have pretty good security at Yankee Stadium, and they're gonna, they look through your bag and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, into Yankee news. The Aaron Boone was helping Bank of America employees hand out turkey meals for Thanksgiving. So that was pretty cool. So if you haven't heard already, Tyler Wade has been traded to the Angels yesterday, in exchange for a player to be named later for cash consideration. It could be Shohei Ohtani. Nah, I'm only kidding. But it's probably going to be a no-name guy. A lot of people kind of like this guy. He was all right, but in my opinion, he was more like minor league quality. In my opinion, he was more like minor league quality. He wasn't a guy that, I mean, he can be a starter on the Mets or something like that, but not on the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? He batted well. He got doubles and some walks and stolen bases, which was pretty damn good for the Yankees because the Yankees needed stolen bases. But the thing is, the guy had no bat, and he's like an automatic out. So the Yankees did the right thing in getting rid of him. Hopefully, they could bring in somebody else. But another thing, also, what the Yankees have done is they designated for assignment. When they say designated for assignment, that means DFA, the F out of here, right? So they designated outfielder Clint Frazier and Rougned Odor for assignment. So that helps clear space on the 40-man roster and to protect prospects from the upcoming Rule 5 draft. So I don't know how that's going to play with that. But yeah, so let me see what this article says. Angels acquire utility man Wade. Is this from the Angels' perspective? Damn, and today is Tyler Wade's birthday. Ain't that something? He turns 27 years old today. And let me see. The Angels designated outfielder Kevin Wong for assignment to. The Angels designated outfielder King Wong for assignment to make room for Wade. So Wong played in 32 games last season, hitting a 167. Holy cow! He's a player is DFA. Told you. When a player is DFA, they are removed from the 40-man roster, and within 7 days of the transition, the player must either be traded, released, or placed on invacable waivers. DFA, I like that. Let's click on DFA. Let's see what it says. Designated for assignment. Definition: when a player's contract is designated for assignment, often abbreviated DFA, that player is immediately removed from the club's 40-man roster within 7 days of that transaction. Had been 10 days under the 2012-16 collective bargaining agreement, the player can either be traded or placed on outright waivers. So if the player is claimed off said waivers by another club, he is immediately added to the team's 40-man roster, at which point he can be obtained to the minor leagues if he has a minor league options remaining, or assigned to his new team's 26-man roster if the 25 prior to 2020. If the player clears waivers, he may be sent outright to the minor leagues or released. Players with more than 3 years of minor league service time or have been previously outrighted may reject the outright assignment in favor of free agency. So that's what you mean DFA. But the F stands for the F out of here. FUCK. Out of here. So there you go. That's the definition on that, the real definition. But let's go back to, I want to talk about A-Rod real quick. A-Rod is now eligible for the Hall of Fame. Now, I'm going to tell you now, a lot of people saying, oh, he's perfect for the Hall of Fame. Well, you got to remember, he was caught with steroids. Let me see if I can bring it up. And in my opinion, any player that was caught using steroids should not be in the Hall of Fame. Period. Virtual holiday food drive sweepstakes. For every $30 donated, receive an offer code valid for 2 tickets at select New York Yankees 22 season game. I'll at your boy. So you got to give up $30 worth. We got microphone. Hello? Hello?
Oh, yeah, how you doing?
What's up, man? You on the air?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Trying to just talking about some Yankee stuff that happened, but the only thing that happened really was Tyler Wade DFA.
Yeah, they're not doing much. Yeah.
You know,
they're not doing much. The Yankees. I don't know what they're gonna be up to.
Well, right now,
I mean, it's very quiet.
Right now, they're looking at that Rule 5 draft. Right now, they're looking at.
Yeah, I don't know. They're
Rule
into
5.
this stupid thing. They better make a move fast. They better make moves quick. Because it's still very early. You don't see anything until December. But I was hoping for like something, maybe like a trade, or they could still do something at the end of November. I mean, they've done it before, but I mean, no team is making any big moves right now. It's pretty quiet. But I was hoping for maybe something. Yeah, they traded Tyler Wade. That I don't care about Tyler Wade. I mean, they cut Tyler Wade, Clint Frazier, and wrote down the door. So.
Yeah. I mean, but that's a big move though, because they're getting rid of players to make room.
Yeah, they did. That'll probably contribute into a big move. Usually when they do that, they'll make a trade. I don't know who they're going to trade, but maybe that means they're going to make a move for first base or shortstop or center field. I hope that means that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it says a lot, man. I think if they're making room, I think maybe those guys that they put on the roster from the Rule 5 draft, they might trade those guys for something.
Yeah, they absolutely could. I mean, I hope that means what it means. So, but we have to see how this plays out, because it could mean a big move. We got to just see how it goes. I was hoping for something. Usually after that, we'd see a big move right after that, but they didn't do anything.
Nah, man, it's too early. It's too early. We still got the winter meetings coming up. What, next week, right? Is it next week or the week after?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's next week or the week after. Yeah, we have the GM meetings. Now they have the winter meetings. I think it's going to be in Florida, I think.
Yeah, so I think the Yankees might get somebody out of that. You know?
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. A trade or a signing has to be done. I mean, they got to do something this offseason, because they didn't do anything last year. The year before they did when they got cold, but since then they haven't done anything, man. I mean, I haven't been excited about an offseason for the Yankees since the 2 years for me. 2009 when they got CeCe Burnett to share it, and then when they got Garrett Cole in 2019 when they signed them. But there's nothing really to be excited about. I mean, last year they didn't have a good offseason. The years before that they didn't do anything. So they have to really they got to do something big this offseason.
Yeah, they have to find help. They have to find help. All the help they can find, actually, at this point.
Yeah, they have to get people back, invested again into getting interested in this team, because nobody really finds the Yankees exciting anymore or interesting. And I don't think this team's a threat to win a World Series. I don't know what people are talking about. How are they a favorite? That's the thing I don't understand. How could they be a favorite when they lose every year?
And they don't even have a team yet. They don't have. They just fired everybody on the team. So how are they eligible? Right?
And also they might not make the playoffs if they stick with this team again and decide to do nothing. They're going to miss the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they got some work to do.
They have a lot of work to do. They have to just fill in the holes that they have to fill in, and then they should be all right. But yeah, I just have to see what's going to be the big move. I think the Yankees and the Dodgers are going to be the two that are going to make the biggest moves. I would say those two teams are going to. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know any other teams. But I think those two teams are going to be the winners of the offseason.
Yeah, man. I think whoever comes out big, man, with the splash, I think is gonna, do some damage. Yeah. I think, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. The Yankees, I think, are looking at everything right now. Brian Cashman said everything's on the table. But
he says that, but he doesn't do anything. And they're kind of like, I don't know, they're flip flopping what they're saying. They said one week that they're going to go crazy, and then this week they're not going to go crazy. I don't know. They're changing the stories around every week.
I think this because I think they're going to get Sterling Marte or whatever his name is. I think they're going to get.
Cattell Marte. Yeah.
I think they're gonna get Marte for center field. Now, I don't think maybe they might not get a shortstop. Maybe they might move Gio Urshela to shortstop and get a big time third baseman.
I think that would be a terrible idea if they do that. Yeah. He's not a good shortstop, Urshela. He's not. That's the one position he can't play. He's good at second. He's good at third. He can't play. Shortstop. I don't know. I don't like that.
I was listening to Gio Urshela on MLB network, and he was talking about how he plays and all that. Actually, his favorite position is shortstop.
He doesn't really play it that good. I saw him play it. I wasn't impressed.
He does have an arm. He does have the best arm though.
He's the best defensive player on the team. But remember when he came back, he couldn't hit. He couldn't play defense. He was terrible. I don't know what happened to him. I hope he has a better season because he was disappointing. But then towards the end of the season, he started to play a little better. But he was horrible when he came back. He was horrendous.
He got caught on the COVID list and all that. Remember, he was on the COVID list. Then plus he got injured. That's what stopped him right there. The COVID list. Then he came back. Then he got injured because he fouled.
I guess you could say that for a lot of guys. Then him, LeMahieu, because everybody was terrible last year. They had all declining seasons. Torres, I don't think Gleyber Torres is going to be good ever again. Gary Sanchez has always been bad. But, there's just a lot of guys that just weren't.
Well, LeMahieu was playing hurt the whole time, and he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, he was playing hurt, too.
He had a hip problem or something like that. What was it?
Oh, yeah, sports hernia.
Yeah, he was playing hurt the whole season. So.
Yeah, he was, and nobody knew how bad the injury was. I kind of figured it was something bad. It wasn't just a hamstring injury because everybody thought it was just like a hamstring, but no, it was something worse.
And he was playing through that, so I don't know what kind of pain he was in, but that's.
I guess it was a lot of pain because the guy didn't hit high for average, and he was terrible. I mean, every time he came up, he did nothing. He struck out. He hit into double plays. I mean, that's what this team does, man. They just the double play. They just don't execute, but. You're hoping, for a different outcome next year, and that's what you hope for every year. But nothing ever comes to anything. I mean, with them, they never change anybody's mind. It's the same thing every year with the Yankees. It's nothing new.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way. Because they're starting to prove it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just a regular season team, and then when they make the playoffs, they're not built for the playoffs. Because if they were built for the playoffs, they win the World Series, and they never get any. They don't get far in the playoffs. It's the same thing every year.
Well, to be built for the playoffs and the World Series, whatever have you, first of all, you need a great bullpen, and a starting rotation, man. You
have a great rotation. This team's main goal should be the rotation. I would be worried about that more than I'd be worried about a shortstop and a center fielder and a first baseman. I would be more concerned with starting pitching. That's my number one need.
And something too, I was watching MLB Network the other day. They were talking about the Mets, right? And actually, the Mets have done it that way for these amount of years with a hell of a pitching staff, but they don't have no bat. You know what I mean? But they had a hell of a pitching staff, but they haven't.
Yeah, but they never make it to the playoffs. The Mets, and they're not going to make it probably again next year.
So they don't have no hitting. They don't have no hitting at all. So
no, they never get hitting. That's their problem. The Yankees don't get the pitching, and the Mets don't get the hitting.
They lost their chance. I think the Mets have lost their chance to win a World Series because without when they had that group, Steven Matz and Matt Harvey, they had a
in 2015 when they made it to the World Series. I thought that was their best chance.
They had
team,
a crew.
Yeah, that was their chance. They missed their window.
And they did it with pitching, and it proves. What I'm trying to say is that having good pitching, bullpen starting pitching will get you that far. Look at the Mets.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But I mean, the Yankees don't even have nowhere near that rotation that the Mets had. not to compare. I'm just as an example.
After Garrett Cole, they have nobody.
That's what I'm saying. So how are they gonna be in contention like that? It's tough.
They got to make a big move. And now I don't know. I wanted to trade for that pitcher on the Marlins, but now he's getting a contract extension. So now the Yankees. I don't know if the Yankees could trade for him now. He's getting like a 5-year, 6-year deal now. So that would have been great if the Yankees maybe could trade for that guy. But now he's getting re-signed. So I don't know where the Yankees go now. Luis Castillo, the Reds don't want to trade him because they're asking for too much.
Well,
so where do they go? If they don't sign a pitcher, what trades could they make? There's really nobody else.
Yeah, they're gonna. I hope they trade for a pitcher, and they could still buy a pitcher. They can still get Robbie Ray for the hell of it. They have no choice.
I'm just not crazy for that signing. I'm just not. Maybe other Yankee fans are, but I'm not going off for one good year and he wins a Cy Young. I can't believe he has a Cy Young and Garrett Cole doesn't. He won before. It's pretty embarrassing that Garrett Cole hasn't won a Cy Young already. Robbie Ray won one over you. That's embarrassing. This guy is a number 3 starter.
I don't even think the way Garrett Cole pitched, he didn't even deserve to be second in the damn.
His ERA was a little high. But there wasn't anybody else that was good. You had Lance Lynn. You had Carlos Rendon. There wasn't really anybody in the American League that was dominating besides Cole and Robbie Ray. There wasn't really anybody else. I guess Lance Lynn, but Lance Lynn kind of collapsed at the end and he got injured. That's why they didn't have Lance Lynn win.
Right.
And there was really nobody else. So, if you look at the candidates, there was really nobody. But I'm just saying it's embarrassing that Garrett Cole got robbed of the Cy Young in 2019 before he went to the Yankees, and Justin Verlander won it. And now again, Robbie Ray. The guy never gets Cy Young. Well, next year I'm expecting him to have a big season. He better pitch great, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, man. Because listen, right, with Garrett Cole, right?
Yeah.
He has all these numbers that in these games that he played, he would give up a home run, 2-run home run, whatever it is. Right, and then he'll settle down and start striking people out. But he still lost the game. You know what I mean? That's the kind of pitching we got.
But he wouldn't do that with Houston, though. He would give up home runs, but not like if you watch those playoff games. He wasn't giving up home runs like that, like he was with the Yankees. Yeah, he gives up way too many home runs now. He got bad.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the spider tack, man. He doesn't have the spider tack. I always say, man. With the film room that they have on MLB.com, that you can compare pitching and all that, pictures with video. Look at Garrett Cole, man, when he was with the Astros, and look at him last year. He doesn't even look the same. He's not the same.
Yeah, I see a difference. He had the spin rates. I still think this guy will have hopefully he ends up having a great season with the Yankees and he has a great career and he wins the World Series, but. Yeah, it's been disappointing, man. I have to see another season. But if he has another down season and he pitches bad in the playoffs, then this was a horrible contract. Then the Yankees basically are stuck with this guy. And I don't know what they're going to do. It's a shame. He's supposed to be number 1.
He's now turning into like a Corey Kluber.
Their farm system is terrible. They can't develop any other good pitches. That. And then who else is available out there? There's nobody else available in terms of free agents and starters that they could trade for. It's just Garrett Cole and DeGrom. There's nobody really like that's really other than those two that were great. And DeGrom is at the end of his career now. He's getting injuries late in his career. So I don't know. There's really nobody. There's Walker Buehler, there's Shane Bieber, but I don't really see any other pitchers that come close to him. But he's really got to step up next year and have a better season, and he's got to pitch better in the playoffs. His ERA was a little too high. I thought he would at least have like a 2-point-something ERA. He had like a over 3 ERA.
Yeah.
Cole.
Like I said, he would get blasted in the first inning or 2, whatever it is, and then strike people out.
Yeah.
But by then the damage is done, and the Yankees are already losing the game already.
What I mean? He does that a lot. He does that in big in high octane situations where you need him to shut it down. You can't. You got a guy that's your number 1 and he's making $36 million a year. You got to pitch like a number 1, and he pitched like that with Houston. I don't know why he's not pitching like that with the Yankees.
Right, and in my opinion on the Cy Young, I mean, I understand numbers matter too, but they also have to put in consideration, like, was this guy the main reason that this team won? You know what I'm saying? And Cole wasn't the reason why the Yankees were winning. You know what I mean? At all. You know what I'm saying?
That's the crazy thing about it. Without Garrett Cole, the Yankees probably still would have gotten to the playoffs because he stunk at the last 6 starts. Yeah, you had Nestor Cortez. You forgot how big Nestor Cortez was for this team. He was probably the reason they got into the playoffs.
He is the reason why, because he came out of nowhere and started pitching.
Yeah.
You know, he came out of nowhere and started getting wins, man. Yeah, he should have been a Cy Young candidate instead of
I think he was really good down the stretch, and they should have played him in the probably pitched him over Cole. I now come to think of it, they probably should have went with Cortez in that game, that wild card. I mean, maybe it was just, they should have went with Cortez, but they want to go with their number one guy, but he didn't pitch that great. I mean, he was terrible. I mean, he was.
Yeah, man, this is a real shame, man, that they had to do it like that.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to Cortez, and the guy was a reliever. He was a terrible relief pitcher, you know, and then they put him in as a starter, and the guy just came up big this year. I mean, as far as his role goes, I don't know where they're going to put him. I guess I keep him in the rotation somehow, but, I mean, he was the reason they made it, and I guess definitely Aaron Judge and Stanton, but, you know, that's it. I mean, they didn't make it because of Garrett Cole.
That's a fact, man. That is a fact. That's because of them 3 guys right there. That's the reason why they made it as far as they did.
Yeah, absolutely. Who else was big for them?
I can't even think right now of who.
There was nobody really else. I mean, those 2 carried the team, and the lineup and the pitching was really just Cortez. I mean, there wasn't really anybody. I don't know. I mean, Tyon was bad. Like, I mean, he was good the first 15 starts, and then I don't know what happened after that. He stuck in the second half of the season, and then he just, like, he bottomed out. I don't know. And then Montgomery was good, but he's not somebody that you got to keep relying on every single year. I don't know what he's going to turn into, Montgomery. And then Domingo Germán is another one. He sucks. I don't really trust him.
That's the thing, yeah, man. None of these guys are reliable. That's the problem. Every player you mention is not reliable at all. You know, except for Cortez, like he was the strongest one, but a lot of these guys were blowing games, man.
And Corey Kluber was awful. Severino was good when he came back in the bullpen, but then you saw in the wild card game he didn't pitch good. See, that's why I guess he's not meant to be in that role, but he was doing good, and then in the playoffs in a big situation, he couldn't handle it. See, I mean, but you have to give him, I guess, a pass because he was coming off a Tommy John surgery. But I don't know. Let's see what happens this year. But all I know is the Yankees have to better win the World Series next year, because if they don't win in 2022, then like I said, man, I don't think this team's ever going to win.
It's true, man. And talk about Severino, he's never came through in a big game.
No, never. This guy, I've been telling people for a long time that he's not big he was never big in the playoffs, Severino. Never. He always chokes. That's the thing about this guy. I don't know why people said he's so great. What has he ever done in the playoffs? He never pitched a big game in his life. He can't
handle big games at all. He's not a big game pitcher.
He never was. I never, and everyone's like, "Oh no, Severino comes back." I told you, I knew he wasn't going to do great. He always fails in the playoffs.
You know what, man? Don't be surprised if they put Severino's ass in a trade.
He's another one that I could see getting traded soon. I mean, I don't know about this season, but because his value is not there because he was injured all year. But he's another one. I don't want him long term on this team. Let him go too. He's a free agent after next year.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to they might keep him for next year and let him go.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know, if that, you know, because they probably want to see, because, you know, the Yankees paid all this money to get him healthy and all that. So I guess they want to see him pitch at least a little bit. You know what I mean? So, he'll probably stay around but I won't be surprised if they trade him, though, too.
No, I won't be surprised.
You know, I won't be surprised if they get somebody. Maybe they might trade him fourth center fielder.
I wouldn't keep him. No way. He's a liability on this team now because he's always injured all the time. You don't know what he's going to be like next year. I mean, I'm taking a big gamble on him. That's why they have to get 2 starters. They still their rotation is always a question mark. It's always terrible. This rotation, it's never good. They always have this issue. If the Yankees would have just learned to develop pitching, and they had a better farm system, they don't have to worry about this. But they just never will have a great farm system, I guess. And they don't know how to develop pitches. And like I told you, their scouts are terrible. So they always have to go out and buy guys. And what is that going to prove? I mean, these guys, they come here and they suck.
Yeah, it's true, man. That's another problem too, man. They get a big name guy and does nothing over here, man. You know, it happens
Everyone
a lot.
thought that Severino was injury prone. That's why they went out and got Garrett Cole, because they needed a guy that was a number one. And Severino was always injured, and he wasn't pitching like a number one anymore. And so they figured Garrett Cole was going to be the guy. But you know what? Now Garrett Cole kind of failed. So now what are you going to do? Now you're really screwed. Now the Yankees are totally screwed now. If Cole doesn't pitch like an ace, I don't know what they're going to do.
Also, remember with Garrett Cole, though, too. Remember that he has that hamstring problem, too.
Oh,
so
he'll heal with that. Hamstrings take a couple. Usually it takes a couple of weeks to a month, maybe. He'll be fine. You have to see if this guy rebounds. I mean, he didn't have a bad season. It's just that he pitched terrible in the playoffs, and he pitched bad those 6 games down the stretch. And then, his ERA was a little high, but I expect him to have. I want this guy to win 20 games, because if he's going to be like shitty again, then this was just a waste. Because it's going to go down as the worst contract, I think.
Another worst contract. Another worst one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Ellsbury again.
I think if it's going to be that bad, the Yankees are going to hold the record for the worst contracts in sports history.
They just never, I mean, there's been terrible contracts in general for all these teams, but with the Yankees always get burned with these terrible contracts. Ellsbury, Stanton, Cole, but I tell you, the Stanton contract now is actually looking good, because he is really doing great. I mean, this guy was like, he was terrible. I mean, when he first came to the Yankees, he didn't come through for them. He was getting injured constantly. Then the year after, now this guy is looking like he's earning his money. But Garrett Cole, he got to show up.
What did they say with Aaron Judge and Stanton, that this combined in the last 3 years they played like 100 games together or something like that?
Yeah, it's been awful. I mean, you could say what you want about Stanton, but the guy has delivered. And I know the contract still looks like bad, but you can't say anything negative about the contract. And there's still Yankee fans that want this guy gone. How?
Really?
He's your best player. He carried the whole entire team last year. Without him, they don't make the playoffs.
That's true, man. I mean, he's a hard hitter, man. I mean, he can hit a home run at any time. That's what's great about that guy.
He's not the reason the Yankees aren't winning a World Series. I can tell you that. He's the least of their problems.
And you know what, too, with Stanton, too, he minimized the strikeouts.
Yeah, he got better, and his batting. I think he changed his batting stance. Something definitely changed. He changed his whole entire approach to the way he knows how to hit now. He doesn't strike out like crazy like he used to. The guy's a great player when he's healthy. He stays on the field, and he's a great baseball player. I mean, there's nothing. I don't care what anybody says. I love Stanton. That's just the way I feel about him.
I'm a fan of Stanton myself, man, and I think they should let him play the field more too.
Yeah, and Aaron Judge is great. I love Judge. But, I mean, with those two guys, that's it. That's the whole team, man. There's nobody else. Yeah, they have to make Stanton play the field. When he plays the field, he's a baseball player. See, when he plays the field, the guy, he plays. The guy, he hits great. He plays the field great. You can't make him a DH. A DH is no good. He cannot make this guy a DH.
Yeah, it takes him out of the group.
Yeah, he can't be a full-time DH. No way. That's a no. You got to make him play right field or left field. He's not meant to be a DH. I mean, he's getting old now, but you got to make him play the field, because that's where he's great. That's where that's where he's at his best. Can't play a DH.
Yeah, he's true, man. He needs to be out there with the guys.
Yeah, so that's really the whole breakdown with this team, man. They need to make the moves that we were talking about the last couple of weeks. They got to get Ketel Marte. They have to get Olsen. They have to get 2 starters. I mean, I think the number one need is their starting pitching, but they have to make those moves, and then they should be all right. And then the shortstop, I don't know what they're doing with short. It doesn't look like they're going for any of those 2 guys, Corey Seager or Carlos Correa. I don't know if they're going to sign one of those 2.
There was a guy on Twitter, man. I forgot how he said it, but he said that Brian Cashman is the type of GM that wants to win with these no-name guys, and he'll forever do that until they win.
He's crazy. That's why I cannot stand him as a general manager. I wanted this guy out about 7 years ago. He's terrible. He just thinks that just keep bringing out the same team back every single year, and they're gonna get a different result. They're not. You've lost. You haven't won a World Series in 13 years. Why keep running out the same team every year with the same exact players and think you're gonna get a different result? He's not a smart general manager. He doesn't. His thinking is warped. Man, it's just, I don't know what's wrong with him. Bring back the same team until they win. What do you want to wait, 30, 50, 60 years until the Yankees finally, you could be waiting forever. Maybe never. Maybe they'll never win. He's crazy.
Man. It's true, man, because that's what they say about insanity. You keep trying to do the same thing, looking for different results, you know?
I mean, in 2009, what made them finally wake up in 2009? That's because George Steinbrenner gave them he gave them the green light. You're lucky that George Steinbrenner was still around and he was active. And by the way, he wasn't doing too good in 2009. He was getting sick, but they did that because he must have told them that you got to go out and make these moves, and he was getting very sick, and he wanted to do it for his father, Hal Steinbrenner. So he figured, let's go out and buy the World Series, and they did it. But now you see how when he passed away, now they don't do that anymore. They did it for that one time and one time only.
Yeah, now it's about just saving money, man.
Yeah, now they just want to do it their way, and they don't want to listen to the fans. The fans are stupid anyways. The fans are, I think, a big reason why we have. I hate to say this. It's kind of crazy for me to come out and kind of say this, but I think a big reason why we don't have a championship right now is because the fans.
You're right, man, because they listen to the fans. They listen to these idiots about getting Joey Gallo like they did last year, and now we have this idiot on the team.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. And the front office is terrible, too. Example. I can't stand their organization, but the fans definitely play a big role in this why we can't win, because they want all these horrible plays. They're the ones that go tell the front office, go get these names. Yeah. Their trades are terrible. That's why I was trying to tell you that they don't know anything about baseball, Yankee fans. They want the Yankees to go out there and get these power hitters that are all-or-nothing guys and strike out, and they don't want to go out and get contact hitters. And the stupid front office listens to them, and they do it. And that's why we never win. And they don't go out and get great pitching.
I believe that. I truly believe that. I truly believe that, man. And they, the Yankee management are friends with these people that talk on YouTube and all that. And they take their they take their word into consideration, because these guys think they're freaking MLB analysts and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
They run the team. It's bad enough we have an organization that doesn't run the team right, and they run terrible. And then you got these fans saying, get Joey Gallo, get this guy. They suck, and they're making it like Anthony Rizzo. No offense or anything. I think Anthony Rizzo is good, but there's better first basemen than Anthony Rizzo. I think Freddie Freeman is better. I think Matt Olson is better. Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, there's better first basemen out there than Rizzo. He's good, but he's not the best out there.
Rizzo
making
on the decline, though. Rizzo's declining, though. He's on his decline.
Yeah, he's 30. He's 33 years old.
So he doesn't have much left in him.
I don't think he does, and I wasn't really that impressed. In the playoffs, he really had maybe a few good moments, like before the season ended. I mean, he hit that home run against Robbie Ray, which was good. I mean, he had a couple of good moments, but when it comes to big moments in the playoffs, none of these guys come up big. None of them. They just never. It's a shame. We can never see what they do in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
Oh, sad. Joey Gallo was terrible. I don't know what they were thinking. And did you see that Instagram thing that he wrote? I think it was a tweet or an Instagram. He goes, I can't. He actually said it, that he couldn't wait. Oh, no, his wife said, now you can come home to me now. I can't wait. I'm so happy it's all over now. What the hell was that all about? His wife's tweeting that she's happy that the playoffs was over. In other words, they don't even care about the winning.
It's probably nobody cares. They're getting millions of dollars, man.
I mean, that's somebody. That's your wife telling you that she doesn't care about the Yankees. Who gives a shit? Let's go home. Come on, and he's married to an Italian woman, and she's saying that doesn't sound like an Italian girl that would say something like that. Usually they would say, like, they wouldn't say anything. They just would keep their mouth shut. I don't know why she said something like that, but that was very peculiar that his wife said that. And then, this guy's got other problems, Gallo. He's got the Tourette's thing, and I don't know, man. Guy's a weirdo.
He is a weirdo. Well, the fans wanted him.
Yeah, I didn't want him. You know me, and you didn't.
And we did a whole show, on how he sucked before he got here. You know what I mean?
I did not want him. I was like totally against the trade. I said that's going to be terrible. And then when they actually did it, I said, "Yep." I mean, I kind of figured they were going to do something stupid like that. I was like, I wasn't really surprised. I was just like, they really went there. They really got this asshole.
Unbelievable.
Whatever. Man. Now they stuck with him for another year. I would trade him too. I'm telling you, I would put him in a trade if I had to. I would trade him. I love what.
They can. They have people to do it.
Yeah, I would put him in a trade. There's a team that's out there that's stupid enough to take him. I think they will.
How they say it? There's a sucker born every minute.
Yeah, I think there's a team out there stupid and desperate for that would want his power. I mean, the Padres, his teams that would take him. I'm telling you,
throw him in as a bundle package. You know what I mean? Yeah. As a bundle.
And they were saying how good this guy was defensively. That's why you got him, because his defense. I didn't see great an improvement. I didn't see him play great.
I'd rather have Brett Gardner instead of him out there.
Defensively, yeah. Even though I don't want Brett Gardner anymore, but defensively, yeah, I don't think Gallo was that much of an upgrade in the outfield. I didn't see any sparkling plays out there.
Exactly, he was not an upgrade at all.
No,
they already had gloves. I mean,
I didn't see anything like spectacular with his defense. Everyone was saying this is why you got him, because he was a lefty hitter and he's a great defensive player. But I didn't see. What he did, he didn't do anything. He didn't throw anybody out, because they said he's got a good arm. I didn't see him throw anybody out, so he was just a letdown, man. I knew he was going to suck.
Yeah, true that, man. Absolutely.
Another overrated bum, hyping the guy up because he hits 50 home runs. Who cares? He
surely was overrated.
Oh, he was overrated. Overrated into work. He belongs in minor leagues. The guy should be retired. He should retire from baseball. That's how bad he is. He's worse than Gary Sanchez. His average is putrid. He should be working in a warehouse somewhere, Joey Gallo. He shouldn't even play baseball.
I'm telling you, man. He probably wouldn't even be able to hold a real job anyway, the way he is.
No. He shouldn't be. He's not a baseball player. I don't know how the guy made it into baseball. What does he hit? 190 for his career? 190 something? That's terrible. Awful.
But anyway, man, I guess let's end it here, man.
Yep. So that's about that about wraps it up. So yeah, man. I guess until then. I mean, because Friday's Thursday's Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, man, and everybody else.
Yeah, you want to.
But no, I'm gonna take off Friday. And,
all right. I'm just gonna say that. So.
We'll be back next Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's good idea. So, yeah, we just about said it all, man. So I'm gonna go out to eat with my friend now. So you have a good one, man.
Absolutely, man. I'll talk to you later, man. Have a good holiday, man. All
right, man. You too.
All righty. Talk to you then. But yeah, everyone. Shout out to Bryson on the check-in, man. And I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go eat some hamburgers now myself. But yeah, man. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's see what happens with these Yankees, man. Brian Cashman, please prove us wrong and try to buy us a championship. That's all we ask. Until next time, like, share, subscribe. It means a lot with the algorithm. Comment below. That means a lot as well. And I will respond.